What's up, y'all? It's your boy Baby Oil. You're now tuning in at Good People's TV. I dropped the pimp because it was degrading to women. I definitely missed out on a lot of corporate opportunities because I had to pimp on it, and I was very I was just trying to just stick to it. Like, oh, if you don't want to pimp, fuck you. Can I cuss? But I was just like, fuck that shit, I'm not doing it. And then, this guy named Huey from Perfect Play, shout out to Huey, he was like, I want you to do this event, but just let me know how you feel about just taking a pimp off for this event. I was like, cool, because I always wanted to spin with this DJ named Vega. And, and Dave was there. He pulled up, and, but yeah, I had to just kind of figure out was I going to do this actually professionally. So I was like, let me drop it and see what happens. Then I put my name out there, put mixes out, so forth, and here I am. I would bring the pimp back. I might make it like a alter ego, possibly, maybe for certain events, I'll when I have a silk press or something, I'll be Baby Oil Pimp for that. But other than that, I don't plan on it, because Baby Oil Pimp, it was just a different person, it's a different Brayden, and he was in a very dark place. He was depressed a lot. He really didn't know what he wanted to do with his life. Me just dropping the pimp, it just opened up a new chapter. It was just okay, this is professional Baby Oil, the DJ, that's just me. Am I the king of snooze? Yeah. I love Stussy. I've been wearing it for about 13 years. I never really been into. I've been into fashion. I like being fly, I like being flea. But how people be knowing their brands and stuff, and the origins and stuff like that. I only know the origins of Stussy. Okay. It was just way too fast for me, because I went there in July of 2021, and what had happened was I rode through with my car through Manhattan, and it was just all these people, all these different cars and bikes and all this stuff. It was just making my heart beat mad fast. I'm yo, I would never drive in Manhattan again. But when I moved there, at first I moved during the winter time, and it was very, how can I explain it? I felt I was broke, if that makes sense. I felt I was broke. I didn't have a bed frame, so I was sleeping on a mattress for 3 months. I still had a TV and entertainment center and stuff. But once I got a job, when I started working for Versace, they gave me some good money, so I was able to, fix my room up to where I wanted it to be, and then after that it was smooth sailing. Career-wise though, it took me pretty much about a year to actually get my name out there. I had 3 or 4 gigs my first year there, but that second chapter, I actually got my name out there a little bit better. The connections that I've made, some of the connections from New York, it took me to Denver, LA, Miami, and so forth, when it comes to my career. So even if New York is not in my cards anymore, because I just recently moved back, I definitely want to take it as a great experience, and I value like all the connections that I've made and so forth. So how I found out that I was that nigga was my 16th birthday party. My boy Earl know about it. You know what I'm saying? So it was lit. It was at the Cahoon Plantation over there in Chesapeake. Shout out Chesapeake. Shout out Grassfield High School. You know, Grizzly shit. You feel me? So how I arrived to the party was in a helicopter. You know what I'm saying? In a helicopter, we flew in on the backyard, you know what I'm saying? My friends outside, you know what I'm saying? It was playing birthday song by 2 Chainz type shit. And like from there, that's how I actually got my popularity, or people just knew who I was. And then I was shy and reserved like this nigga say. But but like I was always into like thrifting, so I would have all the crazy like floral shirts and like just all these different pieces that I used to pick from like Goodwill or like their store USA. Like it's just been that. And then from that point, I just kind of build my style up, just build like who I was like as a person. I started to express like my music a little bit better. My mother's friend's son, his name is Ant. I remember this shit like it was yesterday. Like I was staying at his house and he was just telling me some shit called the underground. Like just what the underground is, like underground music. I'm like, what the fuck is that? So the first song that he played me was Every Girl by Young Money, right? I heard that shit 6 months before it released. And they was just playing it over and over again. I had to be like fucking 12 when that shit came out. And from that point, he just kind of gave me the game. He introduced me to like LimeWire, all these different things, and like all these different music platforms like DatPiff and live mixtapes. And it's a whole bunch of them. But just where you can just, you know, expand your music. And then from that point, I've just always just dig into music. Like music literally keeps me up at night, especially if I find like a new song or a new artist. Like that's just what's been my thing, and I value him. I love him so much. Like he definitely like changed my life. Shout out No Way World. Shout out my boy Taz. How that mix came upon, it was that I owed him a mix for like 2 years. Like he created that SoundCloud like page just for DJs to list, like, you know, just do their thing. You know what I mean? And after that, I was on the phone with like my friend or whatever, and I just decided to like spin because she was a DJ too, so she was just watching me spin on FaceTime. And I was DJing for a while, and then she fell asleep like while on FaceTime. I'm like, shit, I'm snappy right now for some reason. Let me, you know what I'm saying? So after I recorded it, I'm like, should I put this on my page or should I give this to Taz? And it was probably about 3:30, 4 morning at this point. I just sent it to him. I'm like, bro, listen to this. If you don't want this shit, I'm putting it on my shit. And he was listening. He's like, bro, this is the best mix that I've heard. And I was like, he's like, shit, I'm about to drop it right now at 4 in the morning. I'm like, shit, like, go ahead. So that shit was mad cool. And it got like a lot of buzz very quickly. And I love him, you know, I love him for that, you know what I mean? Because it'd be taking a lot for me to release mixes. Just like a mental thing, because I be wanting it to be like perfect and stuff like that. But after that, like I've been feeling more comfortable to release mixes. I should be releasing a mix like very, very soon. Yeah, Amen, Say Main, Volume 1 is my favorite mix I've ever done. it has, like, once I like released that, like after my first mix, which was Sunny, I was getting like hella like gigs and like connection. It's like people from overseas are hitting me up. Like it was just weird because I was just releasing the mixes. Like when I did Amen Volume 1, I wasn't really, I was calling myself a DJ, but I wasn't actually like pursuing like a DJ career, like as a career, like maybe as a hobby. You know what I mean? Because I'm still learning, you know. But Amen, like I do have it tatted on me. Like it definitely means listen, in my opinion. So like listen to me type shit. So it's very straightforward. They don't have no very interesting meaning behind it, but like that's just me. I love my tattoo. It was my third tattoo I've ever gotten. You see your boy Yaddy that now, you know what I mean? My answer is gonna be UGK. Like I'm a big like UGK fan. I love Pimp C. I love Pimp C. I love Pimp C. I love Bun B. I've listened to all their music all my life, and I felt like it would have been really cool to be like one of their DJs. I love Southern rap, like just any like Dirty South people from like the 90s and the early 2000s. Like I would love to like spin for them. And I just did like a Dirty South party in Richmond, probably about a month ago, and that shit was lit. That was my dream gig, was to do a Dirty South party, because was raised in Virginia, but like my heart and my birth certificate is in Georgia. You know what I'm saying? And like I was happy that I was able to embrace like that part of like me and my music taste and so forth. So, but yeah, UGK. Yeah. My biggest pet peeve when I'm spinning is people trying to make requests. Definitely, I just have to definitely hate. That's why I don't want to DJ like those type of parties, if that makes sense. Like, you know, like birthday parties and like kids parties, cookouts. Like that's just not me. Like I'm more of like a venue, open format. Like you listen to what I play, type shit. And if your request is not hard, I'm definitely gonna let you know. So your boy got a gig in Paris, France, you know what I'm saying? Later on in September or November. I gotta check my schedule. You know, my schedule a little busy now, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I definitely manifested that just by talking to a few Paris DJs. Over time, they definitely love my Amen Say Main joint, and then they love like there's this Atlanta YouTube channel called 777 Pound, another DJ platform, and that video, it really just took me like to a whole nother level. Like just all these different strangers just reaching out to me. It's like, oh, you played this, so I want you to spin this at my event. Like it's really cool though. I was kind of sad because I was supposed to have my own hour and then spin Lex Luger's set. But due to the rain, everything was pushed back. Like my time was at 3 and they opened the gates at 4. So I was a little sad about that. But shout out Trilla K, she let me rock out with her for a little bit. And definitely shout out to Lex Luger, man. Like going over his crib and we was practicing and stuff, that shit was just mad cool. He's a really, really cool guy in person. And I definitely appreciate him for the opportunity. All right, so this is no order. Tori Moi, Causes of This is probably my #1 album. Then I have Kid Cudi and the Cud, I have Best Thing Smoking by Young Dro. I also have Beautiful Pimp 2 by Rome Fortune. I have Spooky Black, Black Silk. That's what that's for. And then I have it's a mixtape, but it's Rob Banks Calendars. I don't know, but when it comes to like pursuing like DJing, you really have to put in the work, because like you can't be inspired by somebody like who does DJing for a while. Like I was inspired like by this guy named Fake Azumi. Well, he goes by Dot. He's like one of the main reasons why I started DJing, especially with scholarship. But they were my mentors. You know what I'm saying? It's just people who just get a controller and they'll be fly, and you know what I'm saying, they got all these connections, they popular, so they're getting all these DJ gigs before I am. But that don't mean anything, because like I spin better than them. You know what I mean? Like there's people out there who can see who's doing it for the popularity and stuff like that, and people who's doing it for the passion. Like DJing is not keeping these niggas up at night, 3, 4 in the morning, just trying to practice different transitions. Their mixes are ass, you know what I mean? But like it's what you make out of like DJing. It's like DJing be having its own like definition, especially with anybody. There's different types of DJs. There's skate DJs who only spin at skating rinks, you know what I mean, like skate parties, stuff like that. There's disco DJs, house DJs, tour DJs. Like there's just so many, and you just gotta figure out what do you actually want to do, because you can't do it all. You really can't. But like I consider myself as an open format DJ, and an open format DJ, they spin anything and everything. Like I can go from 2 Chainz to Tame Impala to Aretha Franklin. You know what I mean? Like that's just how I spin. I can only speak for myself, but like I appreciate those people who like can see like who's just doing it for popularity, especially those TikTok DJs. Hate them so fucking much. They'll do a shitty ass transition, but it'll get all this different like fucking buzz, and then they getting booked overseas because of this one transition. This transition was garbage. But I'm not gonna be bitter, because everybody has their own path. I know I'm gonna be something one day. I know that when I'm spending overseas, like I'm a snap, and I'm spending overseas because I earned it. You know what I mean? So how this moment came was, like I mentioned before, Slow Dive. It was the first place I spun. My lease was about to be up, and I was moving to Atlanta, and I really didn't know how to like reach out to certain venues, or like how do I talk to them about like spinning for them and stuff like that, spinning at their venues. So I think I asked like Gabe or Scholarship, like how do I get to spin for Slow Dive again? Because I'd never spun for Slow Dive like again, like after that first time, because it like closed down. It was like during the pandemic, you know, they were still trying to open it up, you know, for real. So I just hit him up. I gave him like this whole sentimental story. I was like, man, this is the first place I spun. I wanted it to be the last place that I spin in Virginia. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. And then when I spun, like I had that place packed out. Like it reached capacity twice. And I was like, people are really out here for me. And that's kind of like how I eventually started to buzz. Like that's how Baby Oil Pimp. Well, I was going by Baby Oil by then, yeah. So that's when Baby Oil was actually introduced to the mass. Like, so I'll never forget that day. Like I still have pictures, I still have videos. Like it was just so packed in there. It was so cool. But yeah, that was the one. music is important to me because it's literally all that I've had my entire life. It got me through depression. It got me through like all the dark times. Like I know the songs I play when I'm sad, happy, fucking like angry, you know, or to set the mood with your shorty, you know what I mean? But like music has never did me wrong, if that makes sense. Like of course there's some shitty music out there, but music is just expanding so much that it's like you just stay in tune, just like your favorite artist is dropping, like, you know, it just be feeling like a sneaker release to me, because, you know, I ain't really into sneakers for real, but I'm into music, and I just definitely enjoy it, so, yeah. My favorite genre to spin is definitely rap, because that's what I mainly listen to. But my second would definitely be Piano. It's like an African type music. I definitely learned like what Piano was when I moved to New York, and they be playing it a lot out there and in DC. I'm like, this shit is crazy. Like moving to New York, it definitely expanded my music taste. Like it definitely allowed me to be like more open format, but then finding the true meaning of open format. So I can go to like a house song to Piano, it'll sound good, it'll sound great. So, but yeah, like rap for the most part, definitely like turning up, and then R&B is up there. So it'll go rap, Piano, R&B. Hell no. But because I'm gonna say that I should be in the top 10 when it comes to DJing. Like the way that I have evolved in the past 4 years of DJing, and how I was able to just maneuver through this underground shit very quickly, that should be admired. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nobody can do it like you, boy. You know what I mean? And nobody DJs like me, like this. Nobody can compare themselves to me, their style of DJing. Nobody can jack my steez. So, not the greatest. Will I be the greatest? Stay tuned. But right now, I'm pretty sure I'm in everybody's top 10. So, yeah. Alright. So I want to start off by saying that I am thankful for Daniel, and shout out Good People's TV. Appreciate y'all for having me. If anybody wants to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all that, it is Mr. Babyoil. It's M-I-S-T-A Babyoil. M-I-S-T-A-B-A-B-Y-O-I-L. Appreciate you.